Oh dear. There we go. If you're tuning into this video, I'm just trying to wolf down dinner before we start. And we're gonna get right into it. Oh, do not have my studies open. There we go. These were feet we were studying last time. And we actually did draw an eye there. Okay. Seem to be good there. Oh man. Okay. We'll go back to the brush. Oh no, I already done that. So, first thing I want to do with these eyes is just look at this structure, just so that when I look at all this anime reference here, you can see it all that we're going to be trying to draw today. I want to understand the structure that's happening, even though, you know, it's anime. There is structure. Let's go. sure this comes out and then in. Yeah. So overlap there with the nose. Not by much. It's very subtle. Let's do pop in here. I suppose you could circle them if you wanted to. I don't really like that method. And that's how our eyes should be structured, if I do it correctly. So if we're looking from above, or if we're looking mostly straight on, it's going to be slightly above the little like cornea thing right here. The point of the nose will be a little higher. We're looking straight on, and we're looking a little above. That's gonna be like right there. And then if we're below, it's gonna look like it's a lot higher up. Okay. Let's start with the far eye, because I always do. The eye first. Mm-hmm. Oh, that seems about right. This is that big. So we're gonna slim these down, but still follow the Hi Lucy. How are you? Oh, this feels too far away. It's the obvious measurement. Didn't line up. Doing alright, been drawing a bunch? That's a good thing. What have you been drawing? Studies are going alright. He had a little bit of a serious accident in the family this weekend, so it's been a little bit I haven't drawn in the past like 2 days. Which may be why these eyes are so far apart. This is gonna hurt. I don't want to nudge it over because that's not me learning. So I have to decide which eye I want to erase. I've been trying to find my own way of doing things, so I got that going for me. That's good. I feel like it's kind of a learning process, so the more that you can like allow yourself to sort of give into that and like I screwed up here, like this doesn't work well for me, and then sort of change it up without being like without kicking yourself while you're down, you know? And then finally you get to a place where you're like, oh, this really worked for me. I am going to redo this eye. Although, I should. Usually whenever I had to move something over in the atelier school, I would always... Well, usually it was only like a little bit, so this is pretty far. But I would always try to echo the line so that there's some point of reference. So, we'll measure it 1, 2, 2. 3. So I think it's gonna be right here. Well, hope everything turns out okay to y'all. I think everything's gonna be okay. We are waiting to hear about some surgery news, and it's been a little stressful, but we're in high spirits kind of thing. So the hardest part, as I keep repeating, is the waiting. You know, when there's like a crisis, it doesn't do the people who need your support any good to stress out. That's what I'm trying to do. I definitely have learned to accept that I don't have to make the right move from the get-go. I can always go changing and refining it as I go. Yeah, I definitely feel that way. I've learned that from this little bleach project I made for myself, because I definitely feel like I made some mistakes, and there were parts of it that like I was just trying to learn anatomy, so I feel like I didn't make the project. Like I want to learn the characters and learn how to design them and everything, but the project wasn't necessarily interesting to me. I should have taken the time to do that better. Hi Terror. Hi Tando. Yeah, waiting does suck sometimes too. But yeah, I slimmed down the scope of my project so that I can, you know, not spend so much time on it that I'm gonna be hating it at the end of it, but also giving it the time that it needs to see it get finished. Taco reference, nice. Yeah. There's some there's like a love, I wouldn't say love hate necessarily, but love and like with taco stuff. I feel like there's some stuff that's really good and others that I just don't really like. You're just getting home from work? What do you do for work, Tara? Still feels a little far away maybe, but it's within acceptable parameters, so we're gonna go with it. It flipped too. Amazon Flex come back from Mission Viejo. Nice. That's gotta be a tough job all day delivering packages. I just imagine it would get boring after a while. Like, you can only listen to so many podcasts, you know? Alright, this was only a sketch, so. But we did pretty good. It's just a little farther away. I am gonna nudge it just so I can see where it's supposed to be. That's about right. It's not that far off. Alright, let's do... This one's pretty straight on. Let's do her. Taco's tutorials do work better if you're thinking of shapes instead of forms. This is what I've noticed. Yeah, no, he's very shape-oriented. Well, it just means sometimes, like, I don't get me wrong, I have one of his books. He just, I feel like sometimes if I were to pinpoint it exactly, I feel like he has good knowledge, but sometimes he breaks the shapes in a weird way, way that I don't like. And maybe it's just a stylistic choice, but I feel like sometimes it doesn't read well. Oof. Right now I'm trying so hard to like resist the temptation. I always want to do the bar eye so I can draw the nose in, like the brow nose area in first. But I'm resisting that urge so that I can do the close eye first. I didn't know I had such a tendency to do that, so it feels foreign, like I don't want to do it. Bless you. Hmm? I think my hours mostly do 4 hours. That's nice, not overworking and stuff. Yeah, that actually is a lot easier. 4 hours isn't too bad. Or it doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't know. Hi, Arrow. Welcome back. Probably not ink that first. Careful with the shrimp posture. Oh, you mean me? Am I crouching over? Forgot to say thank you in the video of getting work done and start trying to do finished works. Yeah, that is a goal of mine, so I feel like I try to make videos that are happening to me so they're relatable. Like they're happening to me too in the current moment. It might be a little close. We'll go with this. Shit. I drew that way too low. this connecting? If it's... Bye, Lucy. Have a good night. I hope the dentist is okay. Interesting. Feels like it looks super wrong, so I made that too big. On this other one, but now that I look at it, I guess it is. There's some wonkiness to it. Let's drop below. But not by much. This might still be a little low. Oh, maybe that's it. I think I brought the eye out too much. Pie. How do you differentiate differentiate between anime eyes and realistic eyes. By the way, do found your channel just recently. Love the content, big inspiration. Thank you. Glad you were able to find me. That is actually what I'm trying to do right now, because I feel like I like stylized realism towards anime. Trying to think of like a good example of, well, let me look at my folder of stuff. I feel like people do it to some extent, but it's not like, I'll have a different take on it kind of thing. So here's a decent like one that kind of, it has a little bit of realism, it has a little bit of anime. If you go full on anime, it's like much bigger eyes, and there's just like a straight anime shot. Let's see, Magoon is a good example. I actually think we have a piece of reference here for him. Oh, Yone Mamai actually would be a perfect example. Right? Anime eyes would be like this. They're much bigger. They kind of take up more space in the face. And I'm trying to look for something that's pushed towards more realistic. So I realized that I've been studying more realistic types of eyes, that I kind of wanted to study some anime-ish, more anime-skewed eyes. So that I can introduce some of those elements into the more realistic stuff that I've been doing. Because I feel like it's looking too realistic. And sometimes it's hard to know what about it is making it too realistic. Like, you know, most of these things that I'm doing are sketches, so it's just like, why? It's not like it's a lot of detail. Like, why do they look more realistic than anime, and how do I make them push more towards anime? And not just the eyes too. I've been trying to think about it for the heads that I draw as well. I think one really big takeaway for realistic and anime eyes is the way that they're angled. So most realistic eyes will, when you draw a realistic eye, hopefully I'll do this right, because I'm so skewed towards anime eyes now that I don't draw realistic eyes. But usually when you draw a realistic eye now, it slopes downward, right? Like that. It generally echoes the this is another thing that's hard with structure, but it generally echoes the skull shape it's put into. Hang on, I need to draw that a little bit bigger. And then your brow would be here. That's kind of what I drew down here. You see this? Like, this is this just turned, right? So when you draw the eye in here, typically, that this is just echoing these lines. Oop. If you notice that. So I started understanding, like, if I want to draw anime eyes, and I know that anime eyes are like pointy up like that, right? that means the underlying structure is going to have to change a bit to account for that echo. So it's going to look a little bit different from here to here. And that I think that is one of the biggest differences between realistic and anime eyes, is so that you can draw. To draw realistic eyes, you need to change the structure to be more anime. And someone found this really interesting reference where people drew a cat, and then I don't know if you saw, it was a meme for a little while. People were drawing this anime guy from cat pictures, and they were just saying anime just came from people who were obsessed with cats. I'll have to see if I can find it later, but it was kind of funny. It was true. So I wonder if the second big point, something I just haven't figured out yet, is that there's animalistic proportions in anime eyes. Another thing with anime and realism is realism has a lot of angle changes. It's a lot about form. Anime is a lot about shape. So the more that you can simplify your shape, that's why everything in here kind of looks sharp. They still use, soft roundness to their things, but there's more angle changes in a real eye. So, I mean, you may see things as more round. Like Disney has a lot of round stuff, right? So if you have an eye, and I really zoomed in on this eye, like typically when how I was taught to draw, like, and you have maybe that top lid, right, is if you were drawing, well, let's do the realistic one first. You'd have a lot of little like angle changes, and you'd have that little top lid and folded thing in here. You're capturing like all the little detail of the every little angle change. Humans are almost kind of like lumpy, not necessarily, but there's a lot of angle changes, and you're capturing all of them. Whereas if you were to do this more anime style, you would try to, and again, you can have very angled anime, or like anime that has angle that can still have roundness, but you're simplifying. You're seeing like maybe 10 angles. Whoop. For this one line, you're seeing maybe 10 angles, and now I'm going to simplify that into like 3. So I'm going to go like that, and maybe a little tiny bit like that, because now I'm thinking like big, medium, small. So this is my big, this is my medium line, this is my small, right? And now I'm going to do it again. Big, small, medium. That's actually kind of another big, small, and like a medium, and that comes down. Okay. And then we have the iris in here. And when you actually put all that together into a portrait, one looks more stylized and has that anime look to it. So those are two things. I feel like I'm sort of still discovering myself what the differences are. And some of them, like even those two things I know in theory, but in practice it's still difficult. I'm like still trying to figure it out, and why some things work and why some don't. There is a learning, like a discovery process to this stuff. I mean, you can see even with these eyes that I'm drawing, like, there's I don't know if I captured it very well, but like for this eye, it's should get this like short, and it's not like a simple like curve. There's emphasis of like this medium small comes around with this large shape, and you don't typically do that with realistic eyes. Do you still 3D model? I studied at uni but hated it. No, I only did it like once in college. I think I did at art school just extremely briefly. And that was about it. I had no interest in 3D. I mean, it can be interesting, like, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't my goal to do 3D. I enjoyed drawing and illustration much more. Okay, so I have no idea how to ink, so we're just gonna pencil this in as best as we can. Also do this. Oh, that. I don't know why that got screwed up. Oh, that's because it's not underneath. That could have been bad. Okay. Respect to guys who do it, especially in 3ds Max. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, it's very challenging still. It's like anything, and even with our art stuff, whoever enjoys it, that's awesome. It's just not for me. That kind of worked. Yeah, here's kind of like a mixture of anime and realism that I like. What's Psy like? Never used it. Uh, I like it because I think it's a very stripped back version of digital software. Not to mention cheap as hell. It was $35. So I think if you were a beginner trying to get into this, this would be a really great option. I'm definitely still figuring it out. The brushes don't have like a return to default. Someone thankfully like posted what the defaults are, like as an image somewhere, so you can always figure out a way to get them back. But if you are going to use side, definitely duplicate your brushes when you want to change the settings, unless you know what they go back to. It's finicky in its own way. One of the things I do like though, because I've gone back to the other programs, is that it's so it's not resource heavy. Like I have a really nice computer, and it doesn't matter what I do, like Photoshop and Clip Studio will lag when I do certain things. Side does not even remotely has it ever lagged. I've had it freeze up on me once, and that was a little scary. But you know, I've had Photoshop crash and lost a file, so for the most part, I've had like zero issues with it. It runs smooth as butter. I'm even sticking to, supposedly there's a beta version for Psy 2, and supposedly that one's even better. It comes with new stuff. I'm trying to hold out before I do that. Well, it's dope. Yeah, I am very much enjoying it. I'm not sure why other people haven't talked about it. Two of my favorite artists use it. So I just think I never took a chance on it before, because you know, everybody is always like, well, the industry standard is Photoshop, and it just kind of gets in your head. But yeah, you can play around with it for free too. You get a free trial for like 30 days. And then you just can't, you can still use it, you just can't save after the 30 days. So you can try it out for yourself.
I can feel
SciPaint was the best, but there was a lot of people who pirated the software in the early 2000s and 2010, so they stopped making SciPaint for a good while. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? Only like one guy who's developing it? It's pretty rude. Like, pirate off of the big guys. What are you doing pirate off of the little guy? Honestly, I would pirate Photoshop and all the Adobe stuff because they are seriously scummy to be making such an expensive subscription, but there's not a good version. It's all like old versions of it. If it wasn't for that, I believe SciPaint would have been one of the best artwork software out there. Yeah, it's pretty sad. If that happened today, you know there'd be a huge uproar because we have way too much social media. I'll take a quick standing break and answer both of your questions. So Discord server. Sorry, I'm gonna turn down the music so I can hear myself think. There we go. Or I suppose I could take off my headphones because nobody's talking to me and you guys can listen to the music. I did have a Discord server. I took it down because I just did not have I have like a day job and everything. I'm trying to get to the point where I can do this completely, but I have a day job and I couldn't attend to the server. And so it just felt like I couldn't give it attention and the time that it deserved, and it was always making me feel really guilty, which is like the opposite of me trying to create a healthy process for this stuff. So I had to cut it. It was nice while it lasted, and you know, there were wonderful people in the community and I had a couple mods and everything. I don't know if I'll bring it back, or I'm kind of, these live streams are a way to like bring back that community side that I liked to it. So I'm trying to get more involved and use the community posts and be active about that. I want to do the email list that I have set up too, but I literally didn't have, once you cross a certain threshold of people who sign up for your email, it costs money, and the more people sign up on your list, the more money it costs you. So I think I had over like 1,500, which crossed the threshold, and then it was like $50 a month, and I'm like super tight on bills, so I didn't have the money to cover that. So I'm gonna try to use some of the money we've made in YouTube ads now that we're monetized. Yay. We could bring the email back and also use that with YouTube and try to do more community stuff. But you know, the email only, it's like only you guys see and I see the responses, whereas the YouTube stuff, everybody sees it. It's out in the open. But yeah, I talked about how I want to do like make emojis and stuff and make a membership so people feel more part of the community, kind of like you can make like custom Discord stickers and things like that. So we're slowly making this more of a community thing, like Discord. And then there was also Discord said that they were going to be scraping chats for their AI stuff. So that really rubbed me the wrong way as well. So that was the big reason why I actually quit Discord. But I still use it with my friends for gaming because it's a no-brainer. Like there's nothing else. But like I wasn't gonna make people put their art on my server and then knowing that Discord is scraping it for AI. Solomon, the reference. I don't know this particular head, who this is from. Pretty sure I picked it up off of an artist on Weibo. I follow a lot of Weibo artists. Let me see if there's a signature on that one in particular. Hey Keel, how's it going? Okay, there's no signature on that. I think it came from a set. I think it came from this set of like guy pictures. I think this is the same artist. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go look at their page. That's their name down there. I don't know if you can read Chinese or Japanese. I can't really copy it, unfortunately. I just find a lot of artists on Weibo. They're really good. There's a lot of them that are just incredible at drawing. But if you really want to know who this is, I can Google search it at the end if you're that curious. I could try to reverse image search. I'm fine. It's 9 in the morning here. Oh man. Coming up to 8 o'clock at night almost. I need to learn to take standing breaks like you. My shrimp bag is going to be the enemy. Yeah, that's why I try to make it so that I'm actually doing what I say in the healthy creative process aspect and like not sitting all day and shrimp backing it. We gotta take breaks, gotta move the legs. I worked out just before the stream and showered just so that I moved my body today. But yeah, we finished this one. I think we can call that good. Oh, and here's that artist again. So we'll do this one next. Actually, we already did that kind of direction. Maybe do. Let's do her. It's a good one. This one I know as Magoon, who's amazing at anime art. I really like the way he renders stuff. It's confusing sometimes. I feel like feels like even when you're studying, like, it's hard to tell if you're learning anything sometimes. Like there's so much of the like trusting the process that you have to do. Because it feels like your work's not really going anywhere. You have to trust that it is. One nice bag of this. Didn't realize your video blew up so much. Good to see. Yeah, I was very, very happy about that. I was confident about it going into it. I didn't think it would do this well. I'm definitely like figuring out and understanding more about YouTube in general. There's so many pieces. You basically have to, when you're doing YouTube, you have to be a, well, I mean, we're artists and that's what got us started, but like you gotta be a filmographer, a storyteller. A lot of things overlap from art, but not everything. Some stuff is new. I recently started trying to learn After Effects. And that's been a cool experience. I just want to make sure that I don't lose focus with art stuff, you know, like the original goal is being an artist. I don't mind learning new stuff along the way. I just don't want to lose the original the original goal in the process. The YouTube stuff is just like a documentation of the process, it's not my dream to be a YouTuber. I enjoy it because we get the community aspect and there are parts of it that are really fun, but I still want to become a good artist. YouTuber encompasses a whole lot. Video editing especially. Yeah, video editing was something I needed to learn. Thankfully I knew a little bit about it already. After Effects' personal hell. Premiere was child's play compared to it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, After Effects is definitely more challenging than Premiere. But it's been fun to learn. I feel like I'll get the hang of it, just like everything else. little bit bigger. No problem, Akil. See you when you get back. So, yeah, that's cool. What's his name? Magoon knows how to like roll the eye really well. Meaning he knows that this is a ball. Oops, Jesus, I can't draw a sphere. Right, and then the eyeball is kind of going along like that. It's kind of resting on the sphere. A circle on a sphere, it like bends the ellipse all in a weird way. So Magoon knows that. I can make some interesting shapes. But you can tell when it looks off. The hair, her hair is a little bit in the way, so it's hard to see, but pretty sure this is what it's supposed to look like. Mr. Fahrenheit, 80 Pi didn't struggle with anatomy of light. Good to see someone diving right into it. We're having a lot of stuff happening right now. I intended to go like a lot harder into the anatomy stuff and really crank it out, but we're about to move, and some stuff happened this weekend that was a little crazy, so I'm kind of like slowly getting there, but definitely when the new year sort of rolls around, we're gonna start cranking out anatomy really hard, and finishing up that bleach project, because I really want to just hone in on anatomy as much as possible. That's why I went back to the eyes, kind of, because I felt like my faces were suffering, and I sometimes before bed I have like a little sketchbook by my bed, and I'll draw out some stuff, and my faces just feel like they're lacking. So I thought maybe this would help. I've drawn a lot of faces and studied a lot of faces, but I haven't really taken the time to isolate the features and spend time with them. And I feel like that is kind of important. Like, you don't want to isolate too much when you're studying. You want to always relate back to what you're doing. But you do need to isolate temporarily so that you can really hone in on whatever that subject is. For me right now, that seems to be eyes. I have to do it for noses and ears. And then, you know, when I go to bed tonight, I'll see if I can do something a little bit better. These eyes are probably a little too close together. Sounds to say, can't wait to see what you do after the new year. Thank you, Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm excited to get through it too, because I really want to get to... I don't want to spend too much time with drawing naked people. Like, I've drawn so many naked people. It's time to draw clothes, and I obviously it's cool to draw the figure and stuff, but like, if you never draw clothes, it can get exhausting. The horror, yeah. Bry, the video pursuing art kind of gave me courage to continue my journey. After hearing people say they never improved no matter how much they drew, sticking with me, it's a lot to continue on. Have you given it a try before, Bry? Or would this be... Well, you're saying continue my journey, so I guess the question is, how long did you give it a try for before? Alright, let's see if we can come in here and... Stop it. I started drawing at 13. Before that, I never knew I could draw and didn't think it was possible. One day I just sat down and drew a picture from Google Images and saw how good it was. Isn't that how it starts for all of us? It's like, you didn't know the joy that you could experience, and then bam, you drew something and you're like, holy shit, I did that. I did that with a actually a picture of Ichigo. It's like a manga page of Ichigo, and I copied it and it looked so good. when I looked at it like a couple years later, I realized how screwed up it looked. But I was like, oh my god, I did that. That was cool. I gave up not long after that because I found out that it was nothing more than simple copying I was doing and became discouraged because I felt like a fraud. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, I never had that feeling like that right away. Like I knew I was copying and it wasn't mine, but it didn't make me feel like a fraud. I knew it was just helping me study and helping me to get better. Like now. He's probably needed to be apart a little bit. It is hard to judge on this without like a nose. So kind of just guessing at this point. Especially with anime, it can make it especially difficult. That's probably should be closer actually. So, after hearing people say they never improve no matter how much they drew stick with me, well, yeah, I mean, you have to think, when you hear that from a lot of people, like, you have to put things into context, right? Like, the amount of people who have tried to become artists and the amount of people that are professionals, there's such a stark difference, and not everybody wants to become a professional. Some just enjoy it as a hobby, but like there are hundreds of thousands of people who try art and feel like they don't improve, and a tiny fraction of them become good artists and start to improve or make meaningful improvement. So in the grand scheme of things, like, that makes sense. It's not surprising. Like, it takes a lot of courage to do this. It takes time to like sit through those bad drawings and know that you're improving and trusting that process. Glad to finally catch a stream. Yeah, glad you made it. Pursuing R35 popped up in my recommended and encouraged me to get back into it. That's awesome. Not a professional by any means, but drew consistently throughout my early to late teens, but quit before senior year because comparison is the thief of joy. Yes, it is. Felt awful. Looking back, my past work was actually really good. I wish I hadn't been so hard on myself. Can't go back now, only forward. It's never too late. Eager to see more from you. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Not a professional by any means. I definitely think I'm like slightly above mediocre. I have enough skill where I'm like good at some things, but not all the way there. And we are just trying to close that gap to professional, and we will. And hopefully it'll show people that, you know, it's definitely possible. I like drawing eyes from this angle because it's interesting. I think to myself, what if I never improve? It's like a mental barrier I'm having to work through because of the belief system. Bri, I think I mentioned this in the video too that you talked about, is like part of oh, it's just too much. Part of what helps you know that process works is seeing that somebody else went through it. And you can literally go right now, if you search Miles Johnston progress, you can download off of DeviantArt his his actual progress. And you can see from like he makes kind of crazy art now, but you can see when he was trying to be like a concept artist more, his improvement. And he improved fast, which goes to show you that it doesn't have to take very long either. You know what? I think this is actually too big. There we go. And seeing that somebody else has gone through it, Bri, will definitely be a little bit of a saving grace for your mind to know that, you know, this is not an impossible journey. Other people have gone through it. And then once you can finally get there in your head, it's like, okay, so how do I do that? How do I actually improve? And what are like some efficient methods to do that? Now that I'm not worried that it's not gonna happen, it's just gonna take time. Miles Johnston is the name, yeah. Your drawings are fantastic. The issue with art is you don't know if you're actually improving or not, so I constantly doubt myself every time. Sometimes I want to stop. Yeah, I mean, we're all that way. Usually, if you've done it for long enough, you can look at an old sketchbook and see that you're crazy and you've improved a ton. Wow, I'm really underestimating the angle of this eye here. It's way steeper than I'm making it. Get to color things in like this. Or ink, I should say. That was fun. Yeah, like even with these eyes, like I was super scared to do this. It feels like it's not gonna work. Like the shapes that I made for the eyelashes, when when it looks like a sketch, it looks super dumb. And I'm just like, this isn't gonna work. And after doing this enough times, it's hard in the beginning, obviously, because you haven't done it before. But after doing it enough times, you're like, okay, I've done this enough where I can trust the process and know that I can sort of figure this out. Doesn't change the fact that it's scary, but you have like this slight bit of confidence that you're like, I know how to get through it, even if I don't know what I'm doing. Hey Zoe. I need help. When I don't move, my body stops moving, and it takes a minute or so, and I need to know if that is an issue. What? Didn't see 4 and Ryu today? Yeah, because it's super early in the morning. They're in the Sweden, and 4 is in Sweden, and Ryu is in... crap, I can't remember. But I believe they're both overseas, so the time zone is not... the night time is like super early in the morning for them. That's why they're not here, Akil. Thanks, Bri. I hope you find the motivation and drive to keep going in your art journey as well. It's difficult. Doesn't always feel rewarding, but worth it, I think. I think you just have to frame what you find rewarding in the right way, right? Like, the process to me has become more rewarding because I let it. I know it's hard to say, like, if my drawings, you know, look better than yours or something, but like, even when my drawings suck ass, even more so than right now, and even now I hate my drawings sometimes, like I think they suck. I still find a way to like enjoy the process of what I'm doing, because if you know 99% of art is the process. If you can't find a way to enjoy it, like, you're gonna hate art. There's just no way around that, right? Like, all of this is the process. It's only when it's finished, that last 1%, when it's like finishing it up and you're done, where that's like the completed artwork and you're like, oh my god, I made that. Like, you can't fall in, like, that's cool and you get that, but you can't fall in love with that and hope that that's gonna give you everything you need. Like, you have to fall in love with the awful stages of your eye and figuring out how to, like, how do I make this eye more interesting? And it's gonna look ugly, and you're gonna like try to adjust it until it feels just really cool to you. I don't know, this looks dumb, but you have to fall in love with the process. That's it. I can't move my legs. I would never say that. In my mind, no. In my body, still no. Zoe, I'm not sure what's happening. Are you okay? Brian, did that help you at all, or was that useless? Okay, so what's actually wrong with you, Zoe? You can't move your arms or legs? It sounds like an issue. That sounds like a serious issue if that's for real. All right. Well, obviously you can move your arms to some degree because you're typing. Can you call anybody for help? I tell someone, they'll say just move, I hate my life. Why can't you move? Are you being serious? I can be. So I feel like I'm being trolled. Yeah, if you need help, you should call for help. Your mom will be mad. Bro, if you need help, I'm sure your mom will be fine. If you're being for real, you need to ask for help. Not to mention, if I couldn't move my arms or legs and I was having a medical emergency, I'd rather be alive and have my mom mad at me for whatever insane reason than be not alive. I didn't mean to start inking this so quickly, but here we are. Hi, are you okay? Mama left you at the outside the room. Are you okay? Oh. See my baby boy over here. Hey, it's okay. Yeah. What's wrong? That is Keanu, yeah. He probably just wants attention, but I'm not sure. I'll play with him after, or give him a short walk or something. He's not crying necessarily, it's just how he talks. Although that can be him crying too, so like you gotta learn, or you have to learn any dog, but yeah, for him, that's not crying too much as it is just, he's just chatting. Something's up. He either wants more food or he wants to go on another walk. Zoe, if you have like serious issues going on, you're gonna have to go get help. Like there are people that can help you. But I gotta ask you not to bring it into this chat because there's kids here sometimes and I do not know what is going on in your life. But you can always get help. And if you're feeling shitty, like there are hotlines that you can call. Please make sure you get help. And you're welcome to hang out and chat and just, you know, please don't bring up anything too crazy. I can't help you with that. I'm not a professional. No one in here is a medical professional. All we can do is we're a community, so we help each other with that part at least. If you need help, we're gonna tell you to go get help. If you don't know where to get help, we'll help you figure that shit out too. It's tough though. I do feel for you. I know I've been, you know, witness into some really hard situations. I don't know exactly what you're experiencing, but you know, please just make sure you get the help you need. I did always think I'd be a good psychologist, though. I really like understanding like the mind and stuff. Our minds are so peculiar. What generation are you, Zoe? Okay, Akil. Are you Gen Z? You millennial? I'm doing this so I don't ask your age. Just FYI. I don't know if that, I don't think that's appropriate on stream, so I'll just ask what generation you're from. I don't like Gen-ish. You don't... You mean the different generations? Napoleon. Oh, hey, it's like Archive fam recently. What's up? What's up, Napoleon? Nice name. And not much is up. We're drawing some anime eyes here. I'm trying to get better at drawing eyes, and I've been drawing them a little bit too realistic, so I'm trying to pull in some anime influence. And it's pretty fun. It's nice to see people join up the nighttime streams too, you know. I usually do them during the day. I'm gonna try some afternoon ones too, just to see what people like the most. Gen 10,000 BC here, Jack fellow. Hey, that's okay. Whatever generation you are is cool. no hate to any generation. I think I'm a millennial, yeah. Which apparently we're blamed for everything, so don't worry. We'll take all the heat. It's daytime where I am. And I guess you're in Europe somewhere? Maybe? I have a couple guys, or actually quite a few people in here usually that are from overseas. Shit, this is either... This must be too close. Although it looks wrong in this one, so I was trying to bring it... It's just because of the size of the eyes? Ooh, okay. Sucks when you gotta erase stuff. Napoleon, I gotta go to bed for work, but I figured it's up. I say hi before I peace out to bed. Hopefully I'll catch one of your daytime streams sometime. Good luck with practice. Alright, man. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, hopefully I'll catch you on another stream. Sleep well. Okay, let's pretend you're that. And there. Jackfell, I draw faces from Pinterest, imagining the skulls beside them. Only pen and paper though, my digital skill sucks, it's too messy. You get used to both. I remember when I first started digital, it felt really uncomfortable. And especially depending what you're drawing on, like, I'm trying to draw, like you can see here, bigger now. I've been used to like drawing heads like this size. So I'm trying to draw bigger now because you know when you're on a tablet, like if you make a mark like this, this is the tablet, right? If it, depending on the size of the tablet, if you've got a tablet that's like this small, right? The screen will draw it like this, right? And if you've got a tablet that's bigger, you know, that size will get you maybe like there, and it will be closer. But the smaller you go, the tinier you draw, and the bigger it shows up, which sucks. So that is why and I honestly, this didn't like register for whatever reason, but I think this is a big reason why people get those big screen tablets, so that they can draw more with like their shoulder and everything, because you're drawing one-to-one on there. It's your tablet is now the size of the screen, the same size, right? instead of different sizes, which can be confusing as hell. And to be honest, probably not good practice for you. And for whatever reason, I just didn't think about that. But those things are expensive as hell. Hi, Art by Wes. It's good to see you again too. Hang on one sec. Let me turn the music back on. Just go to the top. Alright, there's something up with this eye that I don't like. Zoe, I'm not gonna give up. I have a life. I want to be a football player. I'm gonna stop till I get there. My last words are gonna be 69. Jesus, dude. Football sucks. Be a chef like Gordon Ramsay. Hey, I mean, everybody likes what they like. If you like football, go for it. I personally, well, actually I used to be into football because our family, or my family, is a big like football watcher, but as I grew up I developed my own interests, and so not so much into football now. I would probably actually rather be a chef than a football player. I'm also just tiny, so football would destroy me. This eye looks amazing. Thank you. Trying. Here, had to redraw it a bit. There's no highlight, so we're just gonna tuck in one of our own, maybe. Should we just... Yeah, we'll just do that. I don't like how that turned out. Come back. There we go. That's a little bit better. Football as an American football? Oh yeah, because soccer, I think a lot more people are into soccer, aren't they? Like, or at least when the World Cup comes around. Oh, that is the airbrush. Come back. There we go. pretty good. I think we're gonna stop there, guys. I did a pretty decent job here. Thank you for everybody for joining me. This is fun. I feel like I still need to spend some more time with eyes though and understanding the structure, especially with the anime look. Maybe I have to go back to the skull again to understand it fully or something. I'm not sure. This is the part that's hard, is like not sure. Sometimes you're just not sure how to improve at something. Like, what is it? What is it in here that's like I'm not understanding? I really like this one, came out good. Down here, you guys can't see that. Ah, this one is probably my favorite. I liked this one too. Yeah, sometimes it's tough though to figure out what it is exactly that you need that will help you improve. I really do think, like with the video that I just made, that finishing your work is a big thing. It helps you understand more because you're not just leaving it as a sketch, like you're trying to finish it and render it, which means you're trying to figure out all the forms, the planes, even if you're only inking it, like it's and you're adding some value in, like you're really starting to understand it more than just as a sketch or a drawing where you leave things ambiguous. So I think that's probably the big thing for me. Thank you, Akil. I think you definitely just need to study a little of this, then do a finished piece of work and see where it gets me. And you know, I can always have reference open like that. And we will figure it out eventually. Part of the joy is like, it's like a puzzle. And eventually you do figure out the puzzle. Alright guys, thank you again for watching. Akil, Jackfell, Zoe, Art by Wes, everybody else who's here, I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow morning, so 8:30, so if you're interested, we'll be there. Thursday, we're gonna do another little gaming stream. I think we're gonna go back to Lego Fortnite. That was pretty fun. We're gonna build like a base or something. The building in that should be really fun. And then Friday's off. Saturday will be something. I don't know yet. Good night, Terror. My cats are going crazy. Don't know what they want. Really wish I could understand cat language. They might be really spouting something racist. Oh god. I would assume your cats don't know about racism. They're just cats. Although I do forget sometimes that my dog isn't a baby human, so I don't know. I need to finish my first digital drawing too. Nice. Akil. You'll have to show me when it's done. Alright guys, good night. You don't have to be the last, Zoe. Have a great night, yeah. See y'all. Bye.